I turned 35 years used to be long periods sitting in a car. I felt my body was gradually losing its elasticity. Then I included 30 minutes of exercise to my morning routine. But the intention to rescue my body, invaded by stillness, was still incompatible with my status as conductor, condemned to endure the heavy traffic of the city. I decided to take a bicycle as transportation, transforming 2 hours of suffocating routing onto pure movement and breathability, with a total of 30 kilometers per day every day. All this in a town that is anything but friendly to those who, for one reason or another, prefer the bike instead of using fossil fuel alternatives. A city, like many, that seems designed to favor the prosperity of a wicked industry, which creates an illusion of mobility and comfort, while pollution and deterioration of a public space cannot be more outrageous. Now, I live in Australia. I have 41 years and I'm bike mechanic at James Cook University. From here, I intend to tell the story of the workshop is next to the library, where I learned to revel in the repair and maintenance of these horses of steel, which increasingly harder emerge as a smart choice that can rescue the citizens' irrational delirium of the car.
Back in 2011, we decided to use one of our old air conditioning plants. There's a big building that was, all the air conditioning had been pulled out of it. And we decided to turn that, rather than knock the building down, we decided to turn it into an end-of-ride facility. And we also collaborated with the JCU Bicycle Users Group to build a bicycle workshop within that facility. So that would then give them a hub to base themselves and give them a lot more visibility on campus. So that became very successful, and a lot of students were taking up the opportunity to have their bike fixed, but there was certainly not enough labour to do that, do all the repairs that were requested. So JCU, Tropico and the Bicycle Users Group teamed up and decided to put a bit of funding towards paying a mechanic from there on to work out of the workshop for 1 or 2 shifts a week, for 3-hour shifts. We then looked at our options. Tropico put in a bit more funding, and we also worked with the international office at JCU to put in a funding grant for the JCU Action for Sustainability Fund. And that was for the Green Bike Fleet program, which is really successful today.
So those bikes that I was fixing up to sell later became the Green Bike Fleet when we got more funding from the international office. And so they had heard about us doing it, about us trying to fix up these cheap bikes and sell them, and then we're offering to buy them back. And Tom Bayless Hack was interested, and he put together a grant proposal for us to get some money and start making this a bigger thing, to start continuing to sell to students, to recycle these bikes and make sure they kept getting used, because there's always a lot of students that come in every semester and they don't have a way to get around at all. So we thought it was a really good program. And we got, I don't know, some funding anyways thrown together from the university to start selling these bikes and to pay for a mechanic or 2 mechanics to start putting them together and fixing them, make sure that they were ready to go and that they were safe. And that sprouted up from the first semester. Maybe I sold 5 or 6 bikes, and this last semester we sold over 100 bikes this semester alone. And we sold over 200 bikes since the program started about 2 years ago, which is pretty amazing.
Yo me siento bastante contento ayudándolos a ellos porque esta es una labor que, primero que nada, a mí me gusta bastante. Las bicicletas son algo que se ha transformado en mi pasión estos días. Y luego tiene bastantes beneficios que van más allá simplemente de arreglar o andar una bicicleta. Por ejemplo, muchos de ellos no tienen la facilidad de adquirir repuestos cerca, entonces nosotros podemos ocupar muchos repuestos que tenemos de otras bicicletas e instalarlos en estas nuevas bicicletas. Y el costo es cero, entonces también ayuda económicamente a la comunidad estudiantil de James Cook. Además de ello, mientras más estudiantes andan rodando sus bicicletas alrededor de la universidad, menos estudiantes andan utilizando automóviles y de alguna u otra forma ayuda a reducir las emisiones de dióxido de carbono. Así que podría decir que el taller de bicicletas ayuda a contribuir al medio ambiente.
I choose bicycles as my main form of transport because it's environmentally friendly, it keeps you fit, and it's a lot of fun. I get to explore pathways and see beautiful places where you can't access by car. If you're considering to ride a bike and you're not sure whether or not you should, you definitely should, because bikes are just the greatest form of transport. You don't have to buy fuel, and you get to visit places like the JCU bike shop. They can fix whatever you need done, and also the biking community is a lot of fun to be a part of. You get to meet new people, and also you feel better about yourself, and also you get to customize your bike and have it with you, and you feel a connection with your bike, and it's a great feeling.
It's important to motivate all students and people in general to use bikes, because as a student, first you have a very sedentary life, and in this way you can make a little bit of exercise. You can just say to your friends, come on, let's go and have a ride around the river, or let's go to make your buys, your groceries buys and everything in your bike. You can just put your basket in front or behind your bike and just move around. I think it's so easy.
Bicycle workshop is a good example of responsible student life planning at the university. I think that successful university need to have such a services for students, that student can concentrate on their studies, and this gives many benefits for people. And riding with a bicycle is important part of the students' study life. We get less pollution, less health problems, save money to use for a living, and it's powerful local economy.
So we really encourage people to come and use the workshop. It's a free service. Students can use it at any time, and we encourage other people to look at the similar options at other universities and places where this would be useful. There's very little costs involved in putting mechanic on, and we've found with the green bike fleet, where we're selling second-hand bikes back to the students, that we've actually not spent much of our funding at all. So that's basically a self-sustaining program where we can just keep it going indefinitely, as long as we keep getting second-hand bikes in that we can fix up and sell.
An easy way to get around and explore and stay fit.
It's a cheap way to go around the campus.
I chose it because I don't have a car here, and I thought it would be a convenient way to get around in the nice weather.
Great way to wake up in the morning, just get the coffee and just hit on the bike, pedal all the way, you'll look you up.
I can do anything I can, to help in the environment and be eco-friendly. So the bike is super eco-friendly, and it's also really convenient to ride around campus.
I ride a bike because it's the most efficient way to convert energy into a movement. It's way more efficient than a car, probably 10,000 times more efficient than a car, and it's just better for the planet. You gotta take care of the planet.
For me, it's the amenity. I just think that it's so much more pleasant to ride a bike than to drive a car. And one of the things that's really encouraged me to get the bike shed up and going, and to get the Green Bikes program going, to get bikes available to especially our foreign students, is, I kind of started that in a small way on my own. People would give me a bike and I'd give it to a student if they asked me. And now it's a big thing, and we've rehomed so many bikes and gotten so many students on bicycles. I guess the easy way forward is to reclaim a part of the streets. The streets are all paid for, and I won't be happy as a cycling advocate, which I've kind of stepped away from a little bit, but I still follow what's happening. And there is an increasing movement to reclaim a part of the street for cyclists. We've paid the money, we've built the infrastructure, and a long line of parked cars isn't using our transport infrastructure effectively. We need to free up that space for movement. If you can organize your local government to have 1 or 2 days a year that a route is closed to cars and people can be set free on their bicycles, they will feel set free. And then they'll want more.
I ride my bicycle to work each day. It's not so far. It's better for me than my car. I wear a helmet that is made of rigid styrofoam, inspected by a French guy named Guillaume. I downshift my Shimano gears, I pedal hard and I'm out of here. Ooh, glad I am that the coast is clear, glad I am to be